Already we have our first comment in. Brilliant. James says, "Good evening, Lee. How are we all?" For those of you who have not watched before, my name is Lee. This is the Q&A live for Coombe Valley campers on our YouTube channel. And I'm here today to answer any questions you have about camper vans, camper van conversions, travel, what's going on with the YouTube channel, what's going on at Coombe Valley Campers, the projects we've been putting up, the test drive I have just done on the Transit Custom, the brand new 2024 Transit Custom, and anything else really. Generally, again, if this is your first time here, generally we just spend an hour having a really good chat, bringing up some really good discussions, and I'm here ready to take your comments, your questions, and we can start the conversation rolling. Um, I hope you've all had a good weekend. I've had a pretty chilled and relaxed weekend with my family, which has been absolutely lovely. I was planning to go up to the NEC today, to the Caravan and Camping and Motorhome Show. I didn't get the opportunity purely because we had a camper van with a deadline. I had to work, I'm going to say super late. I effectively worked through the night on Friday and into Saturday morning to enable the customer to be able to drive that van away on Saturday afternoon. So basically meant I didn't have enough sleep and didn't have enough energy really to then jump in the car, drive 4 hours up to Birmingham, stay overnight with my buddies who I was planning on seeing that night, and then spend the day. But instead, I got to spend the day with my family at home, and it's been really lovely and chilled. So we've got some fresh people in. We've already got 21 people watching, which is incredible. So good evening to everybody once again. We've got Motivate, Goggy. He says, "Guten Abend, dudes and dudettes." Guten Abend to you as well. Daddy Sykes says, "Good evening, mate. Hope you're well." I'm very well, thank you. Mark Wilding is in. He says, "Hi, Lee. You've spelt it wrong, but I'm going to let you off because I don't know if I publicly say how I spell my name. I'm an Leigh. Adrian Johnson says, "Evening, pal." Marcus is in. Good evening, Marcus. He says, "Evening as well." So, yes, I'm not in the garage this evening. You are joining me in my abode. But we've had lots going on since I've seen you last. So much going on. We've done van build. If you've been keeping an eye on our social media, you would have seen that we've been getting up to so much over the last couple of weeks. We've had building works going on. We've had vans coming in and out. Like I said earlier, I've test driven the brand new Ford Transit Custom, the 2024 version. So yes, it's been a very last 2 weeks. Yeah. So comments already. Look, Top Flight Photography and Video says, "Glyn here from Staffordshire. Good evening, Glyn. Nice to have you into the chat this evening as well." Motivate says, "Hi." Sorry, Motivate Goggy says, "Is Lee and Lee pronounced the same?" Yes, generally. Lee and Leigh pronounced the same, although I have been called Leigh, I have been called Leia, been called all sorts of other things. In fact, little known fact, because I'm a southerner and because somebody mispronounced my name Leigh, one of my nicknames in the army was Princess Leia. There we go. Just one of those facts. Just thought I'd get that out there. Danny Sykes says, "Looking forward to the next 2KT5 video." Yes, me too, actually. And we should be filming some more on that in the next couple of weeks, actually. We've got Ali booked. We've got some brand new products to feature on that. We're going to be doing the tailgate conversion on that. And for those of you who don't know, I don't think I released that information before, but the 2KT5 is out of action at the moment. For those of you who follow again on the social media, we built that van into a camper van effectively in 3 days because of a breakdown on my wife's car. We were planning on going to Europe in it. The family car broke down and they couldn't get the part in time, so I had 3 days to completely transform the 2KT5. There is a video coming out on that. But on the way home, long story short, on the way home, the gearbox failed us on the Autobahn in Germany. So yes, it was quite an interesting time. I've sourced the gearbox replacement. It's been delivered, and in the next weekend or two, that'll be fitted, and I'll be back on the road with the 2KT5. Rory Whitaker is in. He says, evening, loving the YouTube content. Purchased a T25 today. Very excited to get started. Little round of applause there for you, Rory. Well done, my man. That's really, really cool. So before we hit straight into some of the hard questions and comments, who are you? Where are you from? What van do you have? And have you been doing anything in your van? Have any of you who are in the chat been up to the NEC in the last week? Have you been working on your van this weekend? Have you been out in the van in the last couple of weeks? Have you been camping? I would love to know. Leave everything down in the comments. And if you enjoy this video, I don't normally ask this early, but if you enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a bit of a thumbs up. You can give a thumbs up in the comments, but the real difference makes if you come out of the comments and then you can give the actual mirror screen a little thumbs up. You can hit the thumbs up button. That would be amazing. There's 21 of you in here. If we could just get a couple more of those thumbs up, that would be brilliant. Again, I don't normally ask this early, but why the heck not? So yes, I'm going to get straight into one of the things oh, there we go. Marcus is in, Marcus Harris. He's one of our guys. He's one of our employees. He loves to come in on the chat as well. He has an early T4, and at the weekend he changed the sliding door handle and lock, which is a tricky job. So well done to you, Marcus. That is a pretty tricky job to do. Alex Renouf is in. He says, "What's up? Good evening, Alex. Nice to see you." So yes, if you want to get in on the comments, if you want to start chit chatting away, please be sure to let us know who you are, where you're from, what van you've got, and what you've been up to lately. Tim, he says, bought my first T5.1 yesterday, waiting for it to be delivered from Cornwall. Tim from Minehead in Somerset. Awesome job. Awesome job. This is what I'm loving seeing at the moment. I think the van industry, or the van market, should I say, not the van industry, but the van market is actually ramping up now. It's getting warmer, and I've seen lots of people. We've had lots of people coming in and buying stuff at the shop, actually to the premises, which is something you can do. And yeah, lots of people are buying vans and converting them ready for a 2024 summer. That is awesome. Did I miss a comment before? No, I didn't. Sorry, I thought I saw a comment before. James says, I'm from Cambridgeshire, still doing the bodywork and repainting my T5 before converting it. Oh, that's right, James. Is yours the T5 that was very, very similar condition to the 2K? I cannot remember. Alex says, those grey long trim clips are a bitch to remove. Yes, they are. Do you have the proper trim removal tool? If you're using the plastic ones, they're good. But if you can get one of the metal forked trim removal tools to get that off, that makes it nice and easy. And obviously, we've done a couple in the past. So, yes, get the metal one if you can. James says, yes, that's the one. Awesome job. Well, we did the bodywork on the 2K T5. I'm back. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Hopefully the Wi-Fi is back. Whew, I lost some followers there. Lost some people who were watching. Oh no. Hopefully you can still see me. Am I loud and clear? We had a bit of a signals problem there. That's not good, is it? Hang on. Right. Let's get the Wi-Fi back up and running. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. Are we still here? Are you still seeing us? Are you still watching? There we go. We've got the Wi-Fi back. Phew. You're going to start seeing me beading up with sweat in a second. Are we still here? Oh my gosh, we just lost loads of people following. Oh, that's such a shame. So yeah, where was I? Back to the comments. Tim says, yes, James, we're back. We've lost some people. Oh, there we go. We've got everybody back again. That's wonderful. So Tim says, been watching loads of your vids today, Leigh. Well, thank you very much, Tim. I really, really appreciate that. Do you have any questions or comments regarding the videos? Please feel free to leave something down below. Alex says, yeah, definitely need the metal ones. My plastic ones were bending scarily. Yeah, they can do that. Like I said before, my mum's in, Liz Hicks. She says, hello, good evening, mum. Nice to see you. Danny Sykes says, given the choice, Leigh, would you go for a 1.9 T5 or a newer T5.1, T5.1 2-litre engine with similar mileage? Ooh, that depends. Now, as you know, I'm a bit of a lover of all the older stuff. The 1.9 T5 is a bulletproof motor. Depends on the mileage. Are they both high mileage? Are they both quite good? The 2-litre one is a more refined unit. And I believe there's more tuning potential if you wish. But in general, there's always an Achilles heel with all drivetrains. I guess in the 1.9 T5, I found the Achilles heel, which is actually the gearbox. The 1.9 in its stock form is a bulletproof motor, just quite slow. The T5.1 with the 2 litre is a nice, faster, like I say, more refined unit. So I'm going to guess it's yours, Danny. I'm going to guess it's your decision, Danny. So oh, he's just come back and said both around 180k. Yes, I mean they're both high. Double check on all of the service history and the latest maintenance and everything else. I mean, I bought the 2K T5 with 214,000 on it. It's now sitting at 224, maybe more. And I had no history on it. And the only reason I bought it was £2,000. I mean, you can't really beat that. So I didn't really care about it in terms of service history. But if it's like a good chunk of change that you're going to be letting go to buy a T5 or T5.1, do as much research as you can and really delve into the paperwork, maybe even the online history as well. James says you're back. Yes, I am. Alex says, there we go. Now you're back and not buffering. Yeah, sorry about that. That was a bit of a shame. So I'm going to have to get onto my Wi-Fi provider. I'm only in my bedroom and the router's practically in the next room. And for some reason, it can't jump through the wall. So I get better signal in my garage. It's nuts, isn't it? Danny Sykes says both about 180k. Yes, covered that. John Sear. Good evening, John. Nice to see you in here. Tim says, how difficult is it to fit a sat nav taking out the old radio? Not very difficult at all in a T5, for example. Again, lots of online guides. We haven't covered that, but we will be because we are going to be changing the stereo moving forward. But in terms of stripping the dash down, I think we've covered that in the 2K T5 video as well. Adrian Johnson, good evening. He says, been replacing my alternator on my T5 2.5. Oof. Not an easy job. Bought a Lucas alternator from Eurocar Parts. Bosch alternator, ridiculous money. What do you reckon to Lucas Parts? Well, it's now fixed. I believe if you can get the opportunity to buy the best possible when you come to a replacement, it's good to either upgrade, but if you can get, 50,000 miles out of that part, then great. I mean, in terms of brand, I don't have much opinion on differences like Bosch or Lucas, etc., purely because I don't work on the engines and the mechanicals of vehicles every day. So I couldn't give you a fair opinion really. But if budget's a thing, then obviously getting the best you can afford, like a Lucas, great. Lucas has been around for hundreds of years and they're still good. Bosch is, I think, the direct replacement from VW. So I guess it determines your budget, but if you get the opportunity to upgrade when you need to replace, obviously think about that aspect as well. Danny Sykes says, thanks, mate. Not a problem, Danny. John Sear says, drinking coffee and spent my afternoon prepping van furniture ready to wax and finish. Well, good luck to you, my man. That's not easy doing the van furniture stuff. We've just completed a van with van furniture in it. And yes, they do need a bit of finishing as well. Rory says, just looking through the service history with my new purchase. Recon engine fitted in 2016, costing more than I paid for the whole thing. Result. Yeah, absolutely. But still, 2016, don't forget, that was actually 8 years ago. It seems like it was yesterday, but yes, that was actually 8. Is that right? Yeah, 8 years ago. Gosh, time flies. But that's great news. That's absolutely great news. Well, the gearbox we found for the 2K T5, that is actually a replacement from one of my local breakers. He was brilliant. I scoured Facebook, eBay, some different breakers around for a replacement 1.9 TD gearbox. I was like, I have my local guy. Rang him up. Yeah, not a problem. 750 quid. And it was still in the van he was breaking. So he's since grabbed that out. And it was 103,000 mileage. Yeah, a van with 103,000 miles on. And it's a van that spent most of its life in Scotland. So I'm going to guess it didn't see much motorway mileage. So hopefully it'll be a good one. And hopefully fifth gear is good. But the engine will be getting a new, I was going to say flex plate. That's an automatic gearbox thing. It's going to have a new dual mass flywheel, new clutch, new parts, new throwout bearing, and we're going to completely clean and not tear down the gearbox, but we're going to completely clean it and then flush out all the old oil and replace with new. Tim says, drinking a cider, where's your beer? It's not a beer this evening. I am on a glass of water, my man. You may have seen on our social media, I did enough drinking last weekend to sink the Titanic. So um, I'm taking it easy for a little while. That was quite a funny weekend. If you saw again on our social media, I was very fortunate enough to be invited out by Jed at Campervan Culture with Nathan from Vivid Vans, who you'll find on YouTube and Instagram. He is based in California, and they're a T25 T3 Vanagon custom house workshop. And it was really cool that Nathan was flying back to America, had the UK as kind of a layover, spent a week here with Jed and the guys at Campervan Culture. And I was invited on a mad night out down in Brighton where we saw live music, had good food, and then went for a bit of a club afterwards. But yes, I am on the water this evening because, I'm 40 now. It takes us a little while to recover from poisoning ourselves that much in one night. John Sear says, Leigh, routers supplied by your provider are generally crap. Yes. Would you like me to email the details of a solid replacement? That'd be wonderful, John. Thank you so much. I would really appreciate that. Man in the van considering buying a VW T3 ambulance 19DG petrol. Am I mad? Feasible for a daily drive? Absolutely feasible for a daily drive. Um, I drive a Type 25 daily, T3 daily. It's a 1.9 turbo diesel, but I have driven 1.9 DG petrols as well. The only thing you've got to be concerned about is the fuel mileage. They are quite juicy. A T3 ambulance. I would love to see pictures. Maybe if you'd hit us up on social media, I would love to see it. In the last 12 months, we have done a complete fit out of an old T3. Well, it wasn't an ambulance, it was a Katastrophenwagen. Yeah, it was like an emergency response vehicle, but it was like the German response hearing aid beige. It had red crosses on the doors. It had like metal grills on the windows. It was super cool. If you get a chance, look back through our Instagram and you can see that. But no, 1.9 DG petrol, T3 is a daily, not a problem at all. But they do generally get about 15 to 19 miles per gallon. But yeah, they're pretty cool. Tim says, love your video on fitting cab carpet. Looks harder than I thought. Which cab carpet? Because we've done one for a T5, a T4, and a T3. Alex Renouf says, I spent the afternoon removing my door panels and gaffer taping up the holes to try and stop rain running into the door and all over the inside. Well, don't cover all of them up. On some models of vehicles, doors are actually designed to be not waterproof, I guess, which is why you find a lot of door cards have a plastic skin behind them because that is the vapor barrier. Um, in a lot of older cars, the door rubbers didn't actually keep the inside of the doors waterproof, so water was allowed to drain through them and then pour out the bottom. So don't go too crazy gaffer taping up. Goggy says, how do you attach the overhead cabinets in a T5, T6? Totally depends on what's on them. You've got ply and carpet, haven't you? I would recommend, don't just use self-tapping screws. I would recommend that you use riv nuts if possible. So use some proper, like really good L brackets if you can. Screw into the metalwork or drill into the metalwork, attach a riv nut, and then use a decent threaded fastening to hold those top lockers up. I've literally just fitted top lockers to the latest van we've kicked out the door, so to speak. James says, did you not consider getting your gearbox rebuilt? I don't know if we've left the video up online or whether it was part of our stories, but I did consider getting it rebuilt when it first broke down. But then when we split the gearbox in two, it basically made mincemeat out of it. The thing that happened was you've got the Leigh shaft, which is one of the main drive shafts going through the gearbox, and that has a huge ball bearing, a big bearing on the main end of it. And we completely disintegrated ours. The thing blew up completely, threw the ball bearings out everywhere. That gave the Leigh shaft some movement in the gearbox. And at the time we were driving it over the Autobahn, up and down big labouring hills in Czech Republic and then Germany, big tyres, big wheels, loads of suspension and a heavy load. And it just basically grenaded the inside of the gearbox and literally everything is broken. So the easiest and cheapest way was to get a good used gearbox because a rebuild can cost you about £3,000 if you want a good one. I don't have £3,000. I had £750 at a stretch for a good used one. So there we go. Josh M. I'm pregnant in Southampton. Josh, well, congratulations, my man. I don't know if that was a spelling check, but a typo. But congratulations to you. Halil Kapraz, what's the best advice you can give a 30-year-old single male? Wow, Halil, I believe you are some sort of spammer. But if you're not, the best advice you can give a 30-year-old single male is do what makes you happy, my man. Nick Risk. Leigh, I've got a T25 with a factory high top. The windows Holdsworth fitted are leaking badly. Can you suggest a non-bonded replacement? Okay, what part of the Holdsworth windows are leaking? Is it just the rubbers or the window frames themselves? Let me know. Tim, T5. Right, what did Tim say before? Because he's replied with the T5. Oh, T5. Oh, the T5 cab carpet isn't that bad. It just takes a bit of maneuvering. It's certainly easier than the T25 one, that's for sure. John Sear has replied to a previous comment from Halil Kapraz. Best advice to a single 30-year-old male: travel, experience everything you can, and love will find you on the way. No worries, Halil. Yeah, absolutely. We are on this earth, but a snippet of time. Do what you enjoy doing the most. And if you're a single guy whilst you're at it at 30, then yeah, go nuts. Go do what you like. Um, Brilliant. That is brilliant. That's almost made my evening. I thought that was a spammer before, but I'm glad I didn't just delete it because we actually got a response from Halil. Good stuff. And if it is a spammer, then I've just been duped twice. Brilliant. And what about Josh M? That's not a spammer. He says, well, I'm pregnant in Southampton. Good stuff. Right. So again, we've just had, was it John who asked me before? John Sear. Yes, he asked, what am I drinking? I've got water tonight. Again, pretty boring. What are you guys drinking tonight? That's always a good part of the lives that we do. What are you drinking this evening? Man in the van says, Leigh, you're a legend, mate. Thanks. No, you're more than welcome. Not a legend, but somebody who has driven a lot of Type 25s with nearly all types of engine. Yeah, I've owned numerous Type 25s over the years with numerous engines, and I've stuck with a 1.9 turbo diesel because I feel that's best for my style of driving. I do lots of European trips and things, so a nice sturdy workhorse with good fuel mileage is where I'm at. Wow, I think this is a record, everybody. We have 55 people watching on the chat this evening. It is wonderful to see you all. We're at 23 minutes with 55 people. My goodness. Right, for those of you who have just joined us, oh, it's just dropped down to 43. That's crazy. Don't look at the numbers, Leigh. Don't look at the numbers. For those of you who have just joined us, who have never watched this before, my name's Leigh. This is Coombe Valley Campers, and we are answering your questions about camper van conversions, all things camper vans, maybe the YouTube channel, maybe the workshop, what we do. So that's what we do here. Please feel free to ask loads of questions down below. And if you do enjoy the content piece, please feel free to give this live a little thumbs up. You can do it in the comments, or you can come out of the comments and there should be either a little heart or there should be a little thumbs up thing. I would really appreciate it. So thank you so much. Right, let's go back to the comments. Alex says, Guinness, good stuff, Alex. Tim says, how often do you need to change the cam belt on a T5, or is it a matter of mileage? If you have just bought a vehicle and you haven't changed the cam belt and you don't have the service history, as soon as possible is one of the good things. Then, I mean, when you get any new vehicle and you don't really know the history, it would be really good if you can get it a service straight away, change all the fluids, have the brakes checked, everything else. If you're not competent in that field, take it to a good, trusted, and known mechanic and have everything done. It's one of the first things we did with the 2KT5. Although I don't know if we've changed the cam belt. I can't remember, but I'm sure we have. But yes, get it all serviced, get it gone through, and then you've got a baseline then for your maintenance schedule moving forward. John Sear says, just over 3 months until Cams and Coffee in June, getting my build finished. Yes, I cannot wait to see you in June. That's going to be brilliant. Riley Bethel says, oh no, Riley, what's going on? Adrian Johnson says he's having a coffee. Tim was having something. Halil Kapraz says, when and where and why did you get your tattoo done, mate? It looks nice. Thank you very much. This is a complete sleeve. I got it done a couple of years ago. It's not finished. They never are. All these poppies here are meant to be coloured red. It's a combination of lots of different things. I had it done by a very talented local artist to me called Sharon at the Candle Orchard in Bexhill, where I live. Um, Yes, poppies are for my fallen friends from when I served in the military. These spaces in my arms are going to be for different tattoos and different memories. Generally, it was just meant to be a cover up, and I just went mad with it. Mark Wilding says, have you mentioned about the new oak flooring and splash panel? Not yet, Mark. I don't generally use this page or this space here, this YouTube live, for marketing and for selling my gear. But yes, we do have a new oak flooring. But thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Ben, 1984 says, hi, Lee. Which awning rail would you recommend for a non-pop top? Thanks. Ben, what vehicle do you have? And then I'll be able to give you some closer information. Tim, can you recommend a good VW festival for a newbie? Whereabouts are you, my man? Um, I mean, there is a website on the internet which basically says VW Events UK. And it's brilliant. A lot of events from all around the country fall on the same weekend or similar weekends, but it's one of the things I hit up like November for the next year to make sure I've got all the dates in the calendar for VW festivals. Um, and that's a really, really good place to start. A good VW festival. You've got Van West, you've got Bug Jam, you've got Bristol Volksfest, you've got so many good festivals if that's what you're after. I think if you've never been to Bug Jam, that's a really good one to hit up. It's more concentrated on the air cooled, more concentrated on the drag racing. But 13 years ago, I actually had my stag do at Bug Jam, and it was one of the best weekends ever. Adrian Johnson says, upgraded my twin civil seat to the Rusty Lee double sliding seat. Awesome. Well done, Adrian. We are fitting that. We've just been sent one by Rusty Lee, and we're going to be fitting that in the next couple of weeks. We're doing not live, we're doing a YouTube video for that in the next couple of weeks. So I look forward to filming that video and bringing it to you very, very soon. Right, where are we? Nick Risk says, Lee, I'm looking to swap the windows out because they are in a bad condition generally. Okay. So I don't know if you answered my question. Um, Basically, the windows, if they're the aluminium frame ones, they can actually be, with a bit of patience, deconstructed, clean, and then all the rubbers and felts removed. For the older motorhomes that didn't have huge build numbers like yours, it's very difficult to find a very good condition replacement. So you have kind of three options. One is to rebuild what you've got. Two is to go for a slightly bigger, similar style window that you'll cut into your fiberglass lid. And third is actually a new style bonded window to go on top of your fiberglass. Halil says, where is Jeremy Clarkson? I believe he's on the farm, isn't he? Something like that. Or where is Jeremy Clarkson on the tattoo? Bearing in mind you're talking about the tattoo. But Jeremy Clarkson is at his farm, I'm sure. Motivate says, oh, tell us about this new rock and roll bed. That's right. We have in the 2KT5 the brand new Rusty Lee rock and roll bed. It's only available at the moment in a 3/4 width, but that thing is super nice and super comfy. We had it fitted in the 2K to take us to Poland and back, and I had zero complaints from my girls about the comfort of it. I've since slept on that bed as well, and I can tell you it's a very, very good bed, very, very comfy. There's three really nice new features. One is the reclining feature. It's not just a bed that's sat up and then folds flat. It's actually a bed that sits up like that, and then you can recline it to different levels to make it more comfortable for you when you're sitting in the van or for your passengers when you're traveling. And the third really cool feature is when you pull it all the way out there, and if you pull it all the way out like this, you've got the bed frame here. Generally, on other rock and roll beds, you've got a pair of legs that sit down. The Rusty Lee bed is really, really strong, and you've got a completely clear space underneath with no legs at the front of the bed. So you're increasing your storage space. Maybe it's where you can put the dog when you're camping, just under that bed being undisturbed, and it doesn't carve up your floor. Ben 1984, sorry, it's a T6. So Ben asked before, what awning rail would you recommend for a non-pop top? Right, so you've got a couple of options. But the one that we do is the Vamoose awning rail. We've got a video on it. We've got a how-to video on it on our YouTube. We sell them at our shop. Generally, they're collection only. So if you wanted to come down, come and say hi, you can collect them from our place down in Helling, East Sussex. But we've had very, very good results with the Vamoose awning rail. It's similar to the Rimo one or the California awning rail. And then if you later on down the line wanted to fit, say, like a pull-out awning or an ARB awning, you can then bolt those awning brackets with the Vamoose rail. So you've got a combination of the two. You've got a C-channel awning rail, or you can use it as clamps to put on your awning rail as well. Tim, I'm in West Somerset near Mindhead. What was your first part of that? So yeah, down that country, West Somerset. So down in the West Country, you've got plenty of stuff going on. Like I say, Van West, Bristol Volksfest, Run to the Sun is an awesome one. This is the second year they are doing the brand new Run to the Sun. We were fortunate enough to go last year. It was a 1 night, 2 day event. We're going this year. It's a 2 night, 3 day event. It's a really, really good one. And it means you get the chance to stay in Nuki all weekend. So that's good fun. John Sear, when will the podcast be starting again? Very soon. Very soon. And I cannot wait. So, for those of you who don't know, we also have a podcast called The Campervan Cast. I used to host it with an ex-employee of ours, Dan. And after lockdown, after lockdown, the whole business got super busy. The easiest thing to sort of shelve for a time was the Campervan Cast, because it just does take a lot of time to organize, film, edit, arrange guests, etc., etc. And we are restarting it in 2024. My good friends Tony and Warren, you might know them on Instagram as Lost in a VW or Silver Fox Builds. They are not on here tonight because they're probably driving back from the NEC, which is where I was meant to meet them this weekend. Anyway, they are doing all the behind the scenes for the podcast, and then we'll be starting that up very, very soon. Danny Sykes says, do you know other places to buy a T5 other than eBay? Crazy prices at the minute for them. I bought my first T5 10 years ago with a pop top for 9K. Can't get an old builder's van for that now. You'd be surprised, actually, because in the last month, I have seen 2 or even 3 T5s. Yes, they were high mileage. Yes, they were ex-gardener vans, but they were still transporters. Go for anywhere between £2,000 and £3,000. Keep your eye on the classifieds. Keep your eye on Facebook Marketplace. Get the word out there. Anybody you talk to, anybody you know, just say, do you know, I'm looking for a camper van. I don't suppose you know anybody with an old builder's van sitting on the drive. Just get the word out. The more and more people that know you're looking for a van will tell you, oh, Christ, my dad's got an old T5 that's been sitting on his drive for 10 years. All he wants to do is get rid of it. Things like that. The 2K T5, when I bought that, I was looking for a T4. And it was a completely chance meeting that I had with a guy. It was really bizarre. I was doing a viewing from my old Mark III Golf GTI, and in the supermarket car park that was well lit, there in the corner of the car park there was like a car meet, an impromptu car meet. So bearing in mind my Mark III GTI was clean, it was nice looking, I thought, let me just do a quick cruise around. Stopped, started chatting to a guy, explained to him what I was doing, and he went, yeah, my dad's got a T5 sitting on the drive. It's been there for 3 years. So how much does he want for it? 2K. I was like, I'm there. And I was there the next day, handed over cash, drove the van home. Brilliant stuff. So let people know what you're after. Anybody you meet, the postie. The postie's a great option. If you're friendly with your postie, ask him, because all he does is go around other people's houses all day. So who knows? Adrian Johnson says, can you say hello to my son Roman? He says hi. Hi Roman, how are you doing, my man? Nice to see ya. Ish. Halil says, could you tell us about your army service experience, sir? I've actually gone on about that a lot in the past on the podcasts and different lives as well. So if you want to go back through that, I mean, this is a very, very busy one tonight, so I won't bore you all with that unless I get loads of comments. But in a nutshell, Royal Signals, I did 8 years from 2000 to 2008. Tim says, okay, everyone, hit that thumbs up for Leigh. Cheers. That is, honestly, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome, Tim. Socks with Sandal says, yeah, put the feelers out. Exactly. And the thing is, when you're looking for a car or you're concentrating on a car or it's in the back of your mind, all you see are those cars out there. You know, you might see one drive past you that's looking a bit knackered. And, you know, just ask. Most of the friends I have in the car scene is because I've seen somebody in a car park, or I've seen somebody at a car show and I've gone, nice car, man. And then you become friends, you start chatting, everything else. Oh, we've got some good questions, good things. Halil says, new or classic cars? I am a classic car guy through and through. However, last week I drove, was it last week or this week? I drove the brand new 2024 Transit Custom. If you want to know about it more, leave it down below or leave it in the comments if you want to know more about my experience with that van. If not, you can wait because we filmed the experience and that's a YouTube video coming up very, very soon as well. Rory says, what else does everyone drive alongside their vans? Very good question, Rory. What do you guys drive? Are you a bike guy? Are you a car guy? A sports car guy? Classic car guy? What guys do you drive alongside your vans? Now, I'm very fortunate. I have more than one van. I have the 2K T5, as I've spoken about. That's out of action at the moment with a gearbox failure. But daily at the moment, I drive my 1982 T25 Bully, which is all over our social media, and there's loads of videos on him on YouTube as well. Danny Stokes says, "Cheers, guys. You are more than welcome." Marcus Harris, my T4, 174,000 miles is my daily. Yes. Halil says, Honda PCX 125. Nice job, Halil. John Sear says, my van is my daily. My wife has an i30N. Oh, is that the posh one, John? Is that the cool blue sporty one? That's cool. Tim says, my new van is a 1.9 diesel, drive a Ford Fiesta, lol. Man, we've all got to have a daily. I'm fortunate enough that most of my fleet is a VW, so I get to drive a VW on the daily. I'm actually building the Beetle in the garage. I'd love that to be my daily this year, but obviously life and work and everything else gets in the way. So yes, what are you driving daily? Has anybody got any more further questions? And apologies earlier for that whole signal thing. This is brilliant. I can't believe how many people we've got coming in on the chat and coming in the comments. We're 37 minutes in. We've got just over 20 minutes left of the chat. This is absolutely blooming brilliant. Thank you so far for all the thumbs up. If you've got the opportunity to come out of the comments section for a second, hit the thumbs up button, and that is brilliant. Thank you so much. But thank you all so much for just interacting in the comments and just giving us the love as well. It's really, really good of you. Thanks so much. Adrian says, oh, John says, yep, it's blue. Nice. Adrian Johnson says, T5, my daily. The wife has a Ford Cougar. Nice. Rory says, currently have a Mark IV Golf estate for the dog to ruin. A Morris Minor. Nice. An Alpha 156. Nicer. And a Mark II Golf GTI. Nicest. It's an illness. Well done. And Tim says, oh, and a push bike. John Sear says, how's the CVC T2 coming along? It's not at the minute. Again, so it's just before Christmas. I was like, right, I am getting on all these projects. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing everything else. And then obviously business takes over. And when I say business takes over, we've currently been modifying and rebuilding the workshop. We're opening up a retail front for the shop as well. We've got so much work going on. And unfortunately, one of our guys had COVID recently as well. So we've just been super, super busy and getting any spare time at the moment because now things are starting up again. Weekends are being taken up by that as well as family time. So, but we're getting there. We're going to get there with the projects, I promise. Rory says, oh, and now a T25 camper. Brilliant. Time in the UK, budget T6 lowering options. It's daily. Or if you're dailying it, I would recommend you maybe go for a high quality or at least one your budget will get you as best as possible. Because if you are driving a T6 daily, especially on the UK roads, you want to try and get a really, really good one. Now, I'll give you two options. You've got the VW Monkeys. They are T4 and T5 suspension specialists, and you also have Transporter HQ. They have got a million kits. I'd go and look at all the kits available from the VW Monkeys and from Transporter HQ and see which is your best option. But if you need individual advice regarding suspension, you need somebody to talk to, go and speak to Aaron at the VW Monkeys, and he is your guy. My mum, right, Danny Sykes. I think I've found a 2007 T5 with 118,000 miles, no service history, and bodywork banged up a bit, but might be worth a punt. Could be, Danny. What's the sort of money on it? Tim says, who do you recommend for T5 bits? There are a million people out there for T5 bits. However, recently we are using our friends over at Transporter HQ for a ton of T5 bits and pieces. But when you say T5 bits, what are you after? Bodywork, exterior accessories, wheels, tires, suspension. Fortunately, Transporter HQ do a lot of those sorts of things. I'm not plugging them because I'm a sponsor of them. I just know they're good guys. We buy a lot of stuff from them and we sell their stuff too. So Transporter HQ are very, very good. They're very switched on. Right, Alex says, I hoon the T25 down the M27 every day. That's my daily drive. Good job, my man. Motivate Goggy says, my T6 is my daily driver, only I don't drive it often. My work pays for my yearly travel card, and the public transport infrastructure in Germany is amazing. Yes, it is. Is it bad if I don't drive it often? No, not at all. Not at all. This isn't a pissing contest, people. If you drive it as a daily, brilliant. If you don't and you just fortunate enough to use it as a weekend vehicle, then all good. As long as you're using it and as long as you're enjoying it, that is what it's all about, right? Where are we? We've got lots and lots of comments. So me doing this is me scrolling through my screen. Where are we? Time in the UK says thanks. You are more than welcome. Motivate Goggy says, how often should I drive it to keep things healthy? I think if you're able to just get it out on the weekend and just go for a walk, go and take it to the lake, go and take it to the beach, go and whatever, take it to the week for the weekly run for the shops. Just keep it moving, keep the fluids rolling. The reason I feel my Type 25 after 40 years is still on the road is because I'm driving it regularly. When you drive something regularly, you can notice those things that might be getting worn out or broken, so you can maintain them quicker. You can do preventative maintenance on it, all those sorts of things. You're not seizing up brakes. You're not, there's loads of different things. Loads of different things. I would much prefer driving something like that regularly just to keep on top of it as well. Danny Sykes says 3K they want. So 3K for a T5 2007, 183,000 miles, no service history, and bodywork banged up might be worth a punt. Do you know what? If you got the cash, offer them 2.2, see what they say. And if they go no, 2.5, then maybe 2.7, whatever. If they can afford to sell it for 3K, they might take a punt on it as well. But yes, start it off at two grand. Why not? So look, I've got 2 grand in my hand. Would you take 2 grand? I'll get it transported away today, or I'll drive it away today. Who knows? If you don't ask, that's what I'm saying. King Movies 4482 says, evening matey, drive a boring new Skoda hybrid for work. Obviously got my 91 twin slider T25. I drive as much as possible. Just got back in from being out all day. My number one love is my MU Mark II 1991. You'll have to, or is that VW? Is that typo? It looks like it. Might be VW Mark II 1991. Brilliant job, sir. Yeah, there he goes. Golf GTI 8 valve. Brilliant. What a brilliant collection of vehicles there. Mate, sometimes you just need a boring Skoda hybrid for work. Of course you do. You need it's when it's for work or when it's for your daily commute, it's a tool, isn't it? It doesn't have to be flashy, it doesn't have to be this, that, and the other. It's a tool to get you to and from home safely. 1991 twin slider is brilliant. Let's drive it as much as possible. Good job. Just got back from being out all day in it. And is your Mark II Golf GTI 8 valve. Mate, that's quite the collection. Good job. Gary Plumley says, drive my Transit Custom camper. Daily, my Transit Custom camper. Brilliant job, my man. Again, just getting it daily. The Transit Custom camper, good vehicle. We've had lots of customers with them. Nice work. Time in the UK. What's the best motor you've ever owned? Do you know what? I've bought some cars in the past, but one of the ones I really enjoyed was not an early square version, but I think it was like a Mark II or Mark III Vauxhall Cavalier. I bloody love that car. It cost me like 100 quid. It was a manual, and I had to drive it for work. And it was just a brilliant, no frills, wicked little car. Drove brilliantly, and it did exactly what it needed. My favourite car would always be Bully, my baby, our camper van. But yeah, I absolutely love the Vauxhall Cavalier for all things. It was comfy. I bought a really good high spec version, but like I say, it was like 100 quid sitting on someone's drive. I think I doubled the value when I washed it. It was ridiculous. Tim says, when you change a gear stick gator, is it worth chucking some grease on the linkage before putting a new boot on? Yeah, absolutely. Just make sure that, I mean, there should be minimal grease around gear linkages because grease attracts dust, but you obviously do need some lubrication in that area as well. Alex Renew says Vauxhall Cavalier was amazing. 120 down the Autobahn easy. Yeah, do you know what? Such a good little car and really reliable as well. Time in the UK, mine was a 55 oval with a 2276. I worked up a speed shop in Manchester. Also loved an old school Sirocco. Is that brilliant job? Do you know what? My first car actually was a 67 Bug, and it was my first love. That's the car I bought. I went to Iraq in 2003. I came back from that tour with money in my pocket and a desire to own a pre 67 Beetle. And I found a 67 Bug down in Ottery St Mary in Dorset, is it? Ottery St Mary? And came back with it on a trailer, and I drove the heck out of that car. And like I say, I got it serviced at my local place. Bearing in mind I was 19 at the time, I drove it to Germany. It was out in Germany with me for 2 years. Gosh, I love that. But 55 oval with a 2276, that sounds absolutely rad. And he worked at a speed shop in Manchester. Brilliant job. Okay, let's put it out there. What is the best car you guys have ever owned? There are 33 of you watching right now. Hit me up. What is the best car you've ever owned? Rory says a Corrado G60 when I was 21. Didn't appreciate how cool it was at the time. Wish I still had it. Yes, I have a ton of cars like that. The first Type 25 I ever owned was a Synchro. I didn't even realize what I had and how good and how rare it was at the time. It was a champagne silver Type 25 Synchro with a camping interior, chrome bumpers. Honestly, what a beautiful car that was. And it got away. Got away. So hit it down in the comments. Which was your favorite car? It doesn't have to be VW. It doesn't have to be a camper van. What was your original question there? Time in the UK. What's the best motor you've ever owned? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Gosh, how's the audio, by the way? I'm going to guess it's okay because no one's complained about it. But these these are only cheap headphones, but I believe they take out all any outside noise. Plus, I kind of live in these things anyway. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, I've had a ton of cars. I've had old Ford Mondeos. Gosh, I bought a Rover 75 once, the estate one, and this is all through the period of not having any money, but I needed a car. I had a Jeep Cherokee. Gosh, Fiesta Z-Tech. More Fords than I thought, actually. Yeah. Time in the UK says audio good. Thank you. Goggy says Escort Cosworth was my ultimate favorite car. Unfortunately, it was stolen. No. Joe, when I was growing up, one of my colleagues had an Escort Cosworth with the whale tail on. It wasn't the top spec, and I'm not really a Ford guy. Was it the Escort RS? Can't remember. It was like this really deep blue, and it wasn't quite the top of the range one, but it was like the version down, 3-door with a big whale tail on the back. Brilliant car. Marcus says, miss my old F-Ridge Passat B3 GT Estate. Yeah, that sounds great. Logan Leigh, hit the griddy. What's that mean? I don't know what that means, hit the griddy. Am I lost on it? Oh, look, see, Warren and Tony, who I was meant to be at the NEC with this weekend, I've just had a WhatsApp from them now. They've just got back in, so that's a long day. Adrian Johnson says, Porsche 993 RS replica. Also a Merc 190 Cosworth and an Audi S2 EST North L, can't choose. Now, if you know Billy, my van, and you remember seeing pictures of it, or if you go through our social media, the alloys I have are actually Audi S2 alloys. They look great. They're 16-inch. They look great. Time in the UK says after leaving school, worked at main dealers, so got given some hot stuff. Nice work. Motivate says Wildtail was the Cosworth. Yes. Danny Sykes, love my Ford Puma 1.7. Thanks for all the advice tonight, mate. Appreciated. Have a good week. You are more than welcome. Brilliant. Really, really good. Man, we've got some conversations going on this evening. This is brilliant. We've got about 10 minutes left. So 10 minutes left of all you beautiful people asking me some questions. Obviously, we've got some of the 38 of you are just sort of 39 of you are just sort of sitting back, chilling. If you have got a question, please come forward and yeah, I'm more than happy to answer them. Peter Griffin. See, I was never a Family Guy, Logan. Sorry about that. Hit the gritty. Yeah, never a Family Guy man. So it was lost on me, I'm afraid. Lost on me. That's really, really good. So, if no one's commenting about their cars in the past any longer, where I've got a question for you. Where are you going this year in your camper van? Um, Mark Wahlberg has just commented. Sorry, that's made me laugh. Can you do 20 star jumps naked? No, man, this ain't OnlyFans. Um, what was I going to say? Where are you going in your camper van this year? I would like to know where you'd love to go, where you're booked to go, because it's really nice to share locations, share campsites. Where's the best place you would go? Um, James says T5 bottom door hinge. Is there a bolt inside? Bottom door hinge. Driver's slider or rear? That might be an email one. Sorry about that. Denise says, can you greet my friend Schwanz Ha Herr? Schwanz Fair. Good evening, Hans Fair. Sorry, that was not good, was it? I'll do that instead. Good evening, Schwanz Hair. Nice to have you in the conversation. Thank you very much. Alex says, just join Britstops to taking a look. Yes, good stuff. I've used Britstops, I've used Park for Night, all those sorts of things are really, really good. Logan Leigh says, do you like Teslas? Never driven one. I've never been close enough to one to give you my opinion. So I'm afraid not. I can't answer that. I think they're a cool thing, but I have no real opinion on them. Mark Wahlberg says, I'm fully booked out driving to all red light districts. Fair enough, man. Don't quite know how to answer that. Time in the UK says on Wednesday the T6 van arrives. I need to use his work van and hopefully fit rear seats as you did in a recent vid. Yeah, do you know what? It's not as hard as it is as it looks, and you can buy the kits like say from Transport HQ, and you can buy the seats from eBay. Good luck with it, man. It really transforms the van. James, drivers, the springy thing is snapped off, so needs replacing. What do you mean? What do you mean, James? John Sears says, booked for campers and coffee. I'd like to pop up to Skye or maybe a few trips along the Durham coast. Very nice too. Adrian Johnson says, booked Beadnell in Northumberland for a few nights. Brilliant. Logan Leigh, do you like Fortnite? I am not a computer game player. However, my kids love the old, what do they call it? Roblox. That's the one. Time in the UK, Windows, rear bulkhead, and Windows as well. Nice work, my man. Tim says, plan to do the NC 500 this summer, all being well. If not, doing a tour of the Welsh coast. Do you know what? Do the lesser trodden path. From experience, do the the lesser trodden path. We've always done that when we're traveling. We try, although um, it's nice to go to all the touristy spots, and we've done that in the past also, but it's also nice trying to find your own route, etc., etc. And apps like Park for Night and Britstops are really, really good for that. Where are we? Where are we? Oopsie. Drivers. Where are you, James? Drivers. The springy thing has snapped off, so needs replacing. I know what you mean. I know what you mean now. Driver's door. There's a spring that keeps the door closing. Bottom door hinge bolts. What was the original question, James? Where are we? Let's go back through the comments. Bottom door hinge. Is there a bolt inside? I don't think there is. I think it's just bolts on the outside, my man. The ones that you can see are the ones to remove that door, I believe. But again, I haven't really stripped a T5 down that far. So it might be with things like that. Do you know what's really handy is if you were to type something into Google and then put schematics or blueprint, that's really, really good. It's really, really good to find out things like that. Right, what are other people doing? Gary Plumley says Campus and Coffee. Good job. Thank you very much. For those who are watching and don't know, we organise and host an event called Campus and Coffee. It's a lovely little 2-day thing. Google it. Watch on the YouTube. We've got loads of Campers and Coffee videos out there, and we're in the throes of organising it right now. Right, we're at 55 minutes. This has been an amazing one this week. Thank you so much again for joining in. But we've got 5 minutes. Hit me down in the comments below if you've got any further questions in the last 5 minutes. Recommendations for a kick-ass alarm. Good question. We are still planning on doing the video with our local security guy, with trackers and securities and things like that. So if I don't get that video filmed, I'll get the information and I'll put it on another live moving forward, or at least another video moving forward. Is that all right? Man in the van, would it be better to recon a 19DG petrol for the ambulance or consider replacing it with a modern engine? I want a 6 petrol. Any idea on rough cost? The 19DG, as long as it's looked after, is a reliable beast and parts are plentiful as well. I would say get it serviced, get it working, run it round for a year. See how you think, see what you like, see what you don't like about it. In that time, do some research on some engine swaps. You can go for Golf GTI swap. You can go like petrol Golf GTI swap from a Mark III Golf. You can go for a Subaru. That's a petrol. There's even conversion systems to put modern day petrols like the Ford EcoBoost or whatever they are in it. But generally in the UK, people go for a Subaru, which is the easiest swap for your engine type. But also you can put the Golf GTI in there as well, quite suitably, quite easily. Oh my gosh, Logan, I don't know who you are, my man, but you're asking some funny questions this evening. Do the surfing bird. No idea what that is. Sorry, pal. I'm maybe of a different era of you. So, Time in the UK says, enjoy your content, keep it up. May have to buy a hat now. Please do. Yes, although I'm not wearing it right now, I think it's behind us over there. But yes, the CVC caps are very, very popular and I love them. I wear one on the daily. Annabella, the happy carnivore. What age were you when you lost your hair? Annabella, I started losing my hair at about 19. It was one of my sergeants in the army who first called me Kojak, and I had no idea what it was. He was like, "Son, you're losing your hair." I was like, "Damn." Oh my God, what is this? What shampoo do you use? I don't, quite clearly. What is your hair care routine? A good scrub. That's about it. Logan Leigh, do you like Rocky? Do I like Rocky the films? Yes, I do. Austin, do you ever miss having hair? Yes, I do. Jaden S, it's really satisfying watching your perfect, watching how perfectly your headset fits onto your bald head. Well, thank you very much. It's quite comfy. These are very, very comfy headsets. Tim says, thanks for all the advice, mate. Slaters. Thank you very much, Tim. Very, very nice to have you all in here. Where are we at the moment? We've got about 2 minutes left. What can you give us right now? We've got 2 minutes left of the rest of this live. I'm going to head out of here at 9 on the bottom. But before 9 on the button. But before we go, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. In fact, Warren at Silver Fox has just come in and he says, hi, good evening. You look like the toe of a guy to make me smile. Brilliant. Max Villa says, love your responses to the ball questions. There we go. Oh, the type of guy to make me smile. Ian, you look, that's very kind of you to say. Silver Fox is here. Yes, so in the last minute or two, let's just say our thank yous to everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. We have had probably a record number of people in here just to say hi, just to watch the content. Like I say, if you have got the opportunity and you did like the content today, you did like the live, please make sure to come out of the comments, maybe hit that thumbs up button. It really, really, really does help. I absolutely love doing these and I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, somebody says, the spammers or bored kids have joined. Thanks for another great live, Leigh. No, you are more than welcome. Yes, there's no escaping the shininess of the bald, is there? I have no option but to just live with it. And I'm certainly not going to get any replacement hair. Not anytime soon, anyway. Brilliant. Lots of lovely comments as we finish this live video up this evening. James says, thanks for the advice, Leigh. Have a good week. You too, my man. Goggy says, thank you too, Philip. Thank you as well, Goggy, for joining us. Max Villa says, at Travel Bug, harmless fun. Absolutely. I put myself on the internet. I'm expecting all the backlash and all the piss taking, but I'm here to take it as well. So thank you very much for making me smile. Everybody asking those questions earlier. Man in the Van says, thanks, Leigh. You are very welcome. Goggy says, very much appreciate what you do. Thank you. John Sear, thank you as always. Hustle Now says, give me a load. Are they German flags? As comments, thank you, thank you, thank you. Nick Risk says, cheers, Leigh. Thank you, my man. Arnold Shifamba says, love your content. Thank you. Adrian Johnson says, thanks, Leigh. Ian B says, I subbed. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Ian. I really, really appreciate it. Arnold says, love your content. Well, that rounds us off on another wonderful hour. A Sunday live Q&A with me, Leigh at Coombe Valley Campers. I shall catch you on the next one. Good night. If I can turn it off. No, there we go. Good night, everybody. Rebecca McCauley, you got the last one. Say nuts, please. Nuts.